Championship YouTubers and Championship content creators. There are a lot of us that do Championship predictions, but let's have a little look and see who did the best in their Championship predictions last season. Hello guys, how are we all doing? Welcome back to yet another video. Today is a bit of fun as we look at 16 different Championship content creators' predictions before the 22-23 season, and we're going to compare them and see who did the best with their predictions throughout the season now that that season has come to a close. The 16 different Championship YouTubers featuring in today's video are Burnley fan vizeh, Fogden and thogden, James Lawrence Olcott, the Championship OG content creator BenHD, myself and Sophie from the SophieSB channel, Lex Alexis, talknorwichcity, the Championship encyclopedia himself, Benjamin Bloom, from the Sheffield United way, Nick and Hal, Sky Blue View, a fellow Coventry City fan, Mikey FC, Irish guy, and Nottingham Forest football fan, Radz. Before we get into this video today, guys, please do make sure to show some support. We'll go for 300 likes on this video, and do make sure, of course, to subscribe. Do be sure to check out all of these guys' channels as they do fantastic content and feature the Championship on their channel. There probably are other Championship content creators as well that did do predictions for this season, but this list would have been ridiculously long, so I've set it at 16 of the channels that I watch, and let's see how they performed. So then the first thing the Championship content creators are going to be scored on is points. So if you got a Championship team bang on, you get 0 points. If you got a team 2 places out, you get 2 points, so on and so forth. The lower score, the better. If any of these Championship content creators are level on points, then what we're going to separate it by after that is how many teams they got spot on, correct in the place where they predicted them. And we're also going to be having a little look for a laugh at everyone's worst prediction, the team they got the furthest out from this season. So then first up in 16th place we have Neil from the Sky Blue View. This guy does Coventry City content, and he did do Championship predictions before the season started. I've looked back at them and he got 130 points. He missed out by 130 on all of his predictions put together. He got 0 correct predictions. He didn't get any teams bang on, and his worst prediction was split between Norwich City and Sunderland. Norwich he put top of the league, who finished 12 places lower, in 13th, and Sunderland he put in 18th place, who finished 12 places higher, in 6th. Neil comes in 16th place. Next up in 15th we have vizeh. Vizeh will be a happy fan this season as his team Burnley won the Championship, but as for his Championship predictions, he only racked up a 15th place finish. 122 places out with all of his predictions. Vizeh did get 2 predictions spot on. He said Bristol City would finish where they did, in 14th place, and he also got Huddersfield to finish 18th, which is quite an impressive prediction to get spot on. His worst prediction though, Queen's Park Rangers. He had them up in 7th place. They finished down in 20th. That took 13 points off him, and he's finished in 15th place. Next up in 14th we've got Hal from the Sheffield United way. He racked up 120 points with 2 predictions bang on. His team Sheffield United he backed for a 2nd place finish, which he got spot on, and Reading he said would finish in 22nd place, which he also got spot on. His worst prediction though, Sunderland, 13 places lower than where they went on to finish, in 6th place, so that did take quite a few points off him. He's finished here in 14th place. Let's move on to 13th. We've got Fogden. Fogden's predictions gave him 118 points. He did get 2 predictions bang on, those 2 predictions being Middlesbrough in 4th place and Reading also down in 22nd. Quite a few people did manage to get Reading correct in 22nd place. His worst prediction, Norwich City. A lot of people caught out by Norwich. A lot of people predicted Norwich to win the league. Fogden was one of them, and it cost him 12 points. Fogden finishes in 13th place. Next up, you got Mikey FC in 12th. Mikey FC got 112 points, which isn't too bad. He got 2 predictions bang on. Bristol City in 14th place, and Reading once again in 22nd. His worst prediction, Coventry City, costing him 14 points as he put the Sky Blues down in 19th as we went on to finish 5th. That cost him 14 points. I wouldn't even say that was his worst prediction. He also said this:
Dwight Gale is going to win the Golden Boot in the Championship this season.
Dwight Gale, he got 3 goals this season. Nonetheless, some good predictions here from Mikey FC as he finishes in 12th place. Next up in 11th place you've got Fogden. He got 109 points, doing better than his son Fogden. He only got 1 prediction bang on though, Blackburn Rovers in 7th place, which was quite an impressive prediction. Just like with Fogden though, Norwich City did him the most damage. He predicted them to win the league and they finished down in mid-table, costing him 12 points. It's interesting how Thogden got less predictions bang on than Mikey FC, Fogden, Hal and vizeh, but the ones he did get wrong, he didn't get wrong as much as those, and that's why the damage limitation has got him slightly higher up the table. Next up, as we move towards the middle of the table, we've got Benjamin Bloom coming in 10th place with 108 points with 3 bang on. Sheffield United in 2nd place, Millwall in 8th and Reading down in 22nd. That's pretty impressive to get 3 bang on. His worst predictions were split between Norwich City and Blackburn Rovers. Also, like some other people saying Norwich would win the league, that cost Benjamin Bloom 12 points this season. Blackburn Rovers down in 19th in his prediction, finished in 7th. So those two teams cost him 12 points each, and Benjamin Bloom comes in 10th place. Next up then we move up to James Lawrence Olcott, who got 105 points and an impressive 4 predictions spot on. The 4 teams James Lawrence Olcott got were Preston North End, Bristol City, Huddersfield Town and Reading once again in 22nd. A lot of people got Reading right in 22nd. His worst prediction though, his own team. It seems as if his bias let him down. He said Queen's Park Rangers would finish in 6th place. They finished down in 20th, costing him 14 points, along with Mikey FC, the worst prediction we've seen in this video. Next up, we'll jump up to Irish guy who got the same points and same correct predictions as James Lawrence Olcott. He got 105 points. The 4 predictions the Irish guy got spot on were Sheffield United, Wigan Athletic, Huddersfield Town and Burnley. So he actually got the top 2 spot on, which no one else did in this video, which is quite impressive. The Irish guy's worst predictions were split between Queen's Park Rangers, who he had in 7th place, and Luton Town, who he had 13 places lower than they went on to finish. I've got him just above James Lawrence Olcott. I'm just separating them by the fact that James Lawrence Olcott's worst prediction was 1 worse than Irish guy, but they got the same points. They're both in the middle of the table. Next up then, in 7th place, we've got BenHD, who got 104 points with 2 predictions bang on, those 2 being Huddersfield Town and Reading. Not a bad set of predictions here from BenHD as he finishes in the top half here. His worst prediction being Sunderland down in 19th. They went on to finish 6th, costing him 13 points, but BenHD sneaks into the top 7. Level on points with BenHD, we've got SophieSB from this channel. She got 104 points and a very impressive 4 predictions bang on the money. Sophie's 4 predictions that she got spot on were Middlesbrough, Sheffield United, Swansea City and Reading. Her joint worst predictions being Norwich City and Huddersfield, both costing her 12 points, so 24 points altogether costed there. But yeah, pretty good predictions here from SophieSB as she sneaks into the top 6, just ahead of BenHD on correct predictions. Up next in 5th place, it's yours truly, Matt SB sneaks into the top 5, and I'm pretty happy with this considering we've got 16 to be in the top 5. I'm quite happy with this. We'll come on to everyone's Premier League predictions in a video tomorrow where I didn't do as well, so I'll soak up the glory for a top 5 finish in the Championship video. 102 points, which is quite good, but interestingly I only got 1 prediction bang on the money, that being Swansea City. Both myself and Sophie said Swansea had finished 10th, and they did, but the ones I did get wrong, I didn't get as drastically wrong as some of the people below me. My worst prediction being though Blackburn Rovers 12 places out. I said they'd be down in 19th. They went on to finish in 7th place, but to finish 5th place out of all of these, I'm quite happy. But like I say, we'll come on to my Premier League predictions tomorrow where I didn't do very well. One thing that has annoyed me though, looking back at my predictions, is we made these predictions before we knew Reading would get a points deduction, and if you add their points back on as if they weren't deducted points, they'd have finished in 20th, which is where I predicted them, so I've got a few more points there, but nonetheless, like I say, still happy with 5th place. In 4th place, you've got Radz, who's a Nottingham Forest fan, and I wonder if him not having a team that's in the league has meant that his predictions have done better because there's no bias involved. He hasn't got a horse in the race. Rad's got 96 points, which is very impressive. Only 1 prediction bang on, that prediction being Reading in 22nd place. He did get Sunderland 12 places out though, saying they'd finish down in 18th as they went on to finish in 6th place. But very impressive here from Radz as he finishes in 4th place. Next up then, in 3rd place, you've got Lex Alexis. Now, Lex Alexis has appeared on my channel a few times, and looking back at his predictions over the last few seasons, he's quite knowledgeable and he does tend to do quite well. 96 points from him, 4 predictions bang on. Those predictions being Sheffield United, Middlesbrough, Preston North End and Reading. He got all of those teams bang on where they went on to finish. His 2 worst predictions being Norwich City, 12 places above where they finished. He had them to win the league like a lot of people did. And Sunderland, who he underestimated by 12 places, both of those costing him 12 points each. And if he'd have been a lot closer with those 2, we could have had Lex Alexis at the top of this league, but to still finish 3rd out of 16, very impressive. Next up then, in 2nd place, it's Jack from Talk Norwich City. He only got 1 prediction bang on, but he collected 95 points. A lot of his predictions were 1 or 2 places out. His worst prediction, like a lot of people's, were his own team in this one, Norwich City, 12 places out. He backed them to win the league. But this is quite interesting from Jack from Talk Norwich City, because the season before, Norwich had been in the Premier League and he'd have obviously been watching Premier League football, but seems like he's obviously been keeping one eye on the Championship, because his Championship knowledge has proved to be pretty good this season. He's come in 2nd place. So then in 1st place, it is Nick from the Sheffield United way. 90 points and 2 predictions bang on. I did actually watch his video where he reacted to his predictions. He said he got 88 points, but I wonder if he took points off for the ones he got bang on. From my calculations, it's 90 points, but regardless of if it's 88 or 90 points, Nick from Sheffield United way has absolutely bossed it here with the least worst predictions. The 2 predictions that Nick got spot on were Burnley winning the league and Millwall finishing in 8th place. His worst prediction, only 11 places out, which is the best out of everyone's worst prediction, 11 places out here, was Norwich City, who he had in 2nd place. They went on to finish down in 13th. So congratulations, Nick from the Sheffield United way, who had the best Championship predictions out of these 16 Championship content creators for the 22-23 season. So then guys, that does wrap up today's video. It is a bit of fun, so please do show some support and drop a like and subscribe. Do check out the content creators channels, as all of these do fantastic content on their channels, and let me know down in the comments if you want us to have a look at everyone's predictions at the end of next season and see who did the best again. We're going to be looking at the Premier League tomorrow. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.